Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry that I am once again on the floor and it is once again dark, but I get home from work at 6 and it's already dark by then. So you're just gonna have to accept some cozy videos moving forward with the dim lighting and floor. I guess I have no reason to be on the floor. Yeah, so today I was thinking about like what video I wanted to make, and I decided to make some tea because I want to read, and what goes better than like books and tea. So it's like books and tea, book tea, unpopular opinions book tag. This is my Taurus mug. I am indeed a Taurus. Let me know if you agree with any of my unpopular opinions, and maybe they're actually quite popular and I just think that they're not. That would be interesting. Question 1 is a popular book or series that you don't like. And for this, I have a couple of answers. The first one that I have is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This book should be quite up my alley because I love V.E. Schwab, and I'm a big literary fiction reader. But I just felt like it moved too slowly. I didn't find the characters super compelling. And for it being like nearly 500 pages, I think it just was too much of description and not enough plot for me. And then the next one I like kind of count because I started it and just like knew it wasn't for me, is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I feel like romantasy in general is very hit or miss for me. One, I don't always have the patience for fantasy, and then I don't always feel like the fantasies are super well developed, so it's like I spend the time learning it just for it to be something that I feel like I've seen before. And then the romances, like, they're very hit or miss for me. Sometimes they're just way too much of the same characters over and over again for me. Question number 2 is a book or series that a lot of people don't like, but you do. I have a couple answers for this one. First is Lucy Foley, all of her books. I know that they're not like the best when it comes to mystery books, but I find them very entertaining, which is what I want out of a mystery. So I always enjoy reading her books, and I've read 2 of hers so far, and I definitely want to read more of what she's put out. So I mean, I know that she's popular in the sense that a lot of people read her, but I know that she's low rated on Goodreads, and I really enjoy her. The next book that I have for this question is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I think that this one is more popular than Lucy Foley's books, but I think again, like, a lot of people know of it and have read it but didn't love it, and I love this book. I read it like a long time ago, like before booktube, or before book talk was a thing, and I was so happy that like it became a book talk favorite because everyone was talking about it. And for me, it just really, like, the writing hit for me, the plot was fun, I loved the unreliable narrator aspect. It was just a lot of fun for me, so I love this book. And lastly for this question, I don't know if this is necessarily like an unliked book, but I don't think a lot of people talk about it. And when I sorted my read books by like lowest rating, this one came up, and that's To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christa. I love this book. Like, I find it so good. I think I gave it like 4 stars, and it only has like a 3.7 on Goodreads. I think 1, more people should check it out because if you're into romantasy, you'll probably be into this kind of thing. And 2, I just don't know why people don't like it. That's just me, but I really like it. The next question is a love triangle or a pairing that you don't like, or like the love triangle they ended up with the person that you didn't want them to end up with. And for that, like, close your ears if you haven't read The Final Gambit, which is the last book in the Inheritance Games, because I did not like the brother that she ended up with. This is your last chance. I'm about to say that brother. What was his name? Jameson. She ends up with Jameson, and 1, I didn't really like her and Jameson together, and I found her and Grayson more compelling as like a ship. I feel like 1, they were dissimilar enough that it was very interesting, but I also feel like they got each other on like a deeper level than like her and Jameson. So I would have preferred for her to end up with Grayson. But I also just hate like love triangles. I know everyone does, but like especially when it's two brothers, I just like don't get that. Like if someone was like trying to decide between me or one of my siblings, I'd be like, that's really odd. Now like they're just together and like that could be your future like sibling-in-law. That's so weird. Okay, anyway. Next we have a popular genre that you don't reach for often, and I would say I have like a good amount of genres I don't reach for super often. Namely, I would say like horror. I've never read a horror book, so I've never read anything by like Stephen King or anything. I don't super reach for fantasy that often because like I said, I don't always have like the patience for it, but I'm trying to get back into that. Same with sci-fi. And then I also very rarely, I don't think I've ever read nonfiction, so that's another one that I want to branch out into. Next is a popular or beloved character that you don't like, and I don't know how beloved this character is, but he's definitely very popular, and that would be Mr. BJ Valentine. We know I hate this man. There's nothing else for me to say. I talked about how much I hate him for like 20 minutes in a different video. Next we have an author that you can't seem to get into, and for this question I would have to say Christina Lauren. I've read 2 of their books and both I think were like 3-star reads for me. I want to try more of their books, but just like they always fall a little flat for me. So we'll keep trying, like maybe a couple of the books, they sound like a lot of what they've written sounds really interesting, but just so far they haven't landed with me how I want them to. Next we have a popular book trope you're tired of seeing, and I would say it's like the really protective like alpha male type love interest, and also I feel like this often comes in the form of like enemies to lovers, and both I'm kind of really tired of seeing. Specifically like the super overprotected, like you touch her you die kind of thing. Like I don't like that. And like the super like manly man hates emotions like player guy until he meets like the main character. I really don't like that. Like I also feel like that's usually the enemies to lovers, and I much prefer like a cutesy like friends to lovers, like pining, like they both like each other but don't know it, or like they both genuinely want what's best for each other and like they do things in each other's best interest and like build each other up. Like that's the kind of romance I like to see, and also the kind that I think we should be promoting a lot more than like this enemies to lovers, like I want you but I shouldn't, and like you touch her you die, like I'll kill you if you look at her kind of thing. Like I don't like that. Stop. No thank you. And the next question is a popular book or series that you have no interest reading, and I have a couple for these. I would say first, Fourth Wing. Like I said, I started it and I was like, this is not for me. I had no interest in it. Same with Powerless. I started that and I was like, this is exactly like The Red Queen, which wasn't even a series I liked the first time, so I don't really want to read something super similar to it. And then also Throne of Glass and like Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I've read the first book in each of those series, and I know that I do not want to continue with it. Just not for me. I would much rather put my time and energy into a different author, a different series. And our last question is about the saying that the book is always better than the movies, but what's one that you think the opposite is true? And for that I have 2, and like the first one I don't quite know if I super agree with the statement I'm about to make, but it is the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I saw the movie when it came out last year and just like absolutely loved it. I think that it was just done so well, and like all the Hunger Games movies were done really well, but the difference between the rest of the Hunger Games movies and this one is that I read those books first, and now I'm trying to read this book after seeing the movie, and I dare say the movie was just a lot more compelling. I don't know why, like just reading this book has been like kind of putting me in a book slump a little bit. Like I just haven't been loving it. It hasn't been like as not magical, I guess, but like as enthralling maybe as the movie was for me. I think that there are like a lot of songs in here that like Rachel Zegler just brings to life and does such a good job. And like same with that character of Lucy Gray, like I think she just did an amazing job at bringing Lucy Gray to life. So I'm not like getting all of that within the book. I know a lot of people say that like you get Snow's thoughts and like you can see that he is indeed evil, whereas Tom Blythe makes you think like I could fix him. And I do appreciate that aspect, but I'm also just not loving it. And then the other book, this is going to be like a little blast from the past, that I think the movie was better for, was If I Stay by Gail Forman. I can't even remember when the movie came out, but I think the book is like early 2010s. Like it was a while ago, but that was another one. I saw the movie first and then read the book, and I was like, I kind of like the movie a bit better. I think that again, like the characters are brought to life a little bit better in the movie than the book. Okay, those were my unpopular opinions. I hope that you enjoyed hearing them. And let me know if you have any unpopular opinions about these books, or if you have any differing opinions from me, or your unpopular opinions. So I would love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.